Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'll make sure I have this framed up okay. Here, let's check over this window. There we go.
Great.
Perfect. Good deal. A little easier on the eyes. I understand this is a fictionalized story, but you did have that photo album, that photo book.
Yeah.
Is there one image? I know when I look at images or I go to an art gallery, there's always one image that stays with me or haunts me.
Yeah.
Is there anything in that book that stayed with you that really said, I've got to make this movie, I've got to tell this story that is in my
Yeah, well,
mind?
there were honestly several of them. One in particular, though, look at that. One in particular, though, was a color photograph. So the first issue of the book I found was a reissue, and it actually had color photographs. The original book was all black and white.
Right.
But there was a color photograph of two guys sitting on their bikes at a gas station, and it comes with the territory.
Right.
And I sent it to every single department, and I was like, guys, if we can get the density that's in this photograph, if we can get the layers of clothes and dirt and grease and hair and bikes and set dressing to match the density in this photograph, then I think we will have made something really special. And I think we got real close, real close.
So how do you transport everybody back into the 1960s? Where did you film this, and how did you bring in all of the different props and settings to bring us back into my era?
Yeah, we filmed it all around Cincinnati, which was a really great town for it, just because they have a lot of old architecture. It also feels Midwestern, which is really important to kind of the general vibe of the photographs. But really, this is just all about the craftspeople that I work with. You know, layers and layers of departments. I think a lot of times now, when you make a film and you make a period film, sometimes you put a wash on it to give it kind of an antique look. We didn't do that. We shot this film the exact same way that I shot Mud, the same way that I shot Take Shelter. But once you combine the hair, the makeup, the clothes, the set dressing, the bikes, you end up having this density that I was talking about before, and all you have to do is set your camera up and photograph it, and it really does, especially when you add the music. Right. It feels like the 60s.
Okay. And what a cast! And I know you've talked with everyone else about the cast that you have. I can't imagine getting a better all-star cast than you have. But did everybody ride a motorcycle beforehand, or did you have to teach
Michael
them?
Shannon's not allowed to drive a car, much less ride a motorcycle, so he sadly didn't ride. We learned that on Midnight Special. But yeah, a lot of the guys, they all came in early, and we had weeks-long training. The tricky thing is all these bikes are period correct, and it wasn't until the mid-'70s that the United States actually formalized where the clutch and the gas and everything go on a bike. So these bikes, it was all over the place, and they weigh over 1,000 pounds. And then we had these actors without any helmets on, riding at speed. It was an incredibly stressful process.
It was.
But they were great. They were all really committed to it, and there are plenty of shots of them all free riding in the movie. Like it's no CGI. Like they're really doing it.
Oh, that's awesome. And I want to also say congratulations on the Artistic Achievement Awards for the Chicago International Film Festival. That is quite an achievement, so congratulations with that. And I know that with this film, you look at outsiders, and that's one of the major themes. Is there another theme that you incorporate into this film that really feeds off of that outsider vibe and feel that I think a lot of people can really relate to?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think everybody's looking for identity, and a lot of people find it in a group.
Right.
And that could be a positive thing, and that could be a negative thing. And this film touches on both of those ideas, you know. And you can't make a film about, you know, American motorcycles and not touch on the idea of masculinity. Right. And so, you know, it's one of the reasons why I chose a female character to be the lead interpreter of this world for us. And that's probably one of the greatest things, is kind of talking about this tension in masculinity, where there's parts of it that are certainly toxic, but then there are parts of it that are beautiful, not the toxic parts. And there's a tension there as a result of that. And I know as a man, I deal with that tension, and certainly Jodie Comer's character, Kathy, in this film, is dealing with that exact same tension.
And I cannot wait to see it. Thank you so much for coming to Chicago and giving us your film.
I'm excited.
Congrats.
Thanks.
I'll go this way.